Ah yes, Dragon Quest XI, one of the most relatable games I've ever played in my entire life. You're just a kid, living a normal life. Everything's going well, and you're practically untouchable. Then comes the day where you're old enough to think for yourself but not actually think much of anything, and now it's time for you to be on everyone's back burner. You're not kids anymore, so go ahead and climb this giant tumor. Grown up? Son, you're the chosen one. Now get out of my house. Since you just became a grown-up, we want to give you a taste of independence and self-initiative. Now piss off to the king, will you? And remember, if you fail, the blood's on your hands.
Humble folk of cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. That's how it goes, isn't it?
Fuck my life. I mean, this is an excellent plan, really. I cannot fault this at all. It's almost like this wasn't conceived within an 8-hour space and I'm equipped with practically nothing. Yeah, here's some cash and a sword. You'll be fine. After all, grown up, it's your destiny. Huh. Maybe this whole thing was a plan by the village to finally remove that annoying angst-mute teenager no one liked, because he was so emotionally barren and corrupt his existence was practically a deficit on everyone else. Pretty relatable. Let's also not ignore the abundance of enemies which I'm going to find out on the road as well. Anything from slimes, which honestly I'd love to put into a blender, to monstrous and horrifying cultist creatures. Some of these things look like they would sup my blood and use my head as a mug, which I suppose could be justified considering the implication that we're essentially invading their territory and viciously killing their kind without asking questions. I mean, I do feel kind of horrible for slaughtering all these creatures just because the battle music slaps so hard, and I want to listen to it more. But that's not my fault! Screw Pokemon and its animal gladiator-like battles, at least the assumption is that they're being knocked out. I'm out here killing animals before rummaging into the rotten corpses for money and treasure, which I guess makes sense considering that we're bums now, so we're basically just nomads. We can set up camp, or we can rest for the night, which sounds like a terrible idea for reasons I just mentioned. Here's a big middle finger, by the way, to the twat who keeps putting chests around the world, treating this like it's some fun game show, especially since the things inside the chests are often so unbearably terrible, I wished I just spent the time poaching a bit more instead. Throughout our adventure, we are going to be going to many different places and meeting many different people. Some are quite accommodating and reasonable. Others.
What have we here? It is not so often that we receive les visiteurs. It is a minimally common occurrence, in fact. Incroyable!
I mean, that is literally unreadable, I'm sorry. Within these settlements, you can do what any tourist does best. Ruin everything. As part of ruining everything, you're going to be running around, trespassing on private property, stealing clothes, and making promises you inevitably won't keep to the folk anyway. Man, I'm so glad that I can live my life as the literal reincarnation of Satan vicariously through this video game character. Ultimately, I don't think much of value would even be lost without this hero. He is supposed to be the silent main protagonist trope, which, by the way, is a bundle of lies because there is a part in the game where this character speaks. I am not lying, play the game yourself, and many people will say, well, you're meant to identify with the character. Well, see, if I had to see myself in this character who was destined to save the world, there would be a distinct lack of a world. I'm a wimp bitch, but at least I have a soul. This kid is heartless. Luckily, our other party members are apt replacements for this totem pole of a specimen. Truly, I can never get enough of Eric's nutcracking, Veronica's Japanification, Serena's character, Sylvando's gay parades, Rob's vulgar Playboy magazines, how hard the developers must have been jerking themselves off when designing this character, and how— whoa, cowboy, that's one spoiler too much. These guys know what's up. Anyway, back to the story. We reach Heliodor, smash some pots, break some laws, and then make our way to the king. Heliodor is divided into 3 areas: the upper, middle, and lower area. The lower being the destitute and criminal one, the upper being the lavish and expensive, and the middle being the middle. You'd think selling one of these gigantic golden statues that are so proudly displayed out of your crystal palace would dig this entire town out of poverty several times over. But no, I agree, they look great. There's also a bunch of side quests that are littered around the town. Naturally, I completely ignore these because these plebs are simply not worth the effort. I have much more pressing matters to attend to anyway. King Carnelian rules over this domain, with his 2 lackeys, the purple-haired goblin and Mr. Final Fantasy over here. You are reminded of the fact that you are the reincarnation of the Luminary, essentially a messiah brought to seal the darkness in the land. However, the king sees the matter slightly differently, and he arrests you on the spot. He states that for there to be light, there must also be darkness. They say that your birth has foreshadowed the coming of evil, and your existence allows it to prosper. Basically, they're going to kill you. You're thrown into the dungeons where you meet Eric, a common thief locked away for stealing an incredibly valuable treasure, though his motives are still relatively unclear at this point. He casually kills 2 guys in cold blood before revealing a tunnel he dug into the sewers. You kill some guards, get chased by a dragon, and then reach the precipice of death. Now fully surrounded, you ready your weapons, hold your stances, and prepare for battle. Is what a normal person would say, but silly me forgetting video game logic just so forgot there's a body of water below. So, just take a plunge. No tension required, water means 0 fall damage, so we're just fine. And with that, the first leg of our adventure is complete. We still have many places to discover, many people to save, and lots of evil to vanquish. But I've been thinking, maybe Hero isn't so bad after all. He has no family, he's been made an outcast by society, and he still doesn't even know what his purpose is as the Luminary. I feel bad for him. Really, if I was in his situation, I would...
Wow! And he is erased! Just deleted from the console.
Yeah, okay, have one of these.